Hi everybody, I'm Mary Rose Feldman and welcome to my studio. Welcome to Free Class Week on my YouTube channel. Very happy you're here. Today we're going to do a monotangle. Actually it is not a monotangle. I had added a couple tangles in there. So I think we've got 3 tangles in this one, but we're going to practice our tangle just a little bit. So after we have a moment of gratitude, grab your a scrap piece of paper or whatever you like to practice on, because we're going to do that before we go to our tile. Today I'm using a phi tile, which is our rectangle tile. It is not exactly 3 by 5, but something close to that. So that's what I'm going to use today, but you can use whatever papers and supplies you like. And I know I'm saying that repeatedly on the video, but I don't know when people are jumping in and jumping out. So I want to make sure everybody knows that you can use whatever supplies you have. There is no judgment whether it's a Zentangle supply or not. Okay, use what you love to do, what you love to create with. Okay, so after that, let's go ahead and have a moment of gratitude. I'm going to sit back in my chair, get my posture nice and tall, and I'm just going to go ahead and have a good deep breath. And when I'm having that deep breath, on the inhale, I think of positive energy or a positive thought. I think of that filling my mind and my body. And when I exhale, I think of something that's making me tense or worried or stressed. And I try to think of releasing it, blowing it away, letting it dissolve out of my mind, out of my body. Our affirmation for today's tile: I have a unique creative voice that the world needs. Have a moment of gratitude. Pause if you need more time. Come back when you're ready. Okay, there's our affirmation today. If you're new here, this is from my affirmation deck, and I pull a card before every class. I love this one. Everybody has a unique creative voice. All right, so on our practice paper, we are going to practice a tangle called Walu. Brighten this up. And it is by Rhea Mathewson or Matheson. Okay, so this one I like to start with pencil. And what we're going to do is put a wavy line in the center. Pretty wavy, meaning a bit of up and down, not too shallow. Give yourself a bit of a hump and a bit of a valley. You're going to aura this on the top. I'm going to turn it this way so that you can see. You're going to aura on the top twice. And you're going to aura on the bottom twice. This is all in pencil. Notice I'm not too careful with the aura being even. I like it to have a little personality. Okay, so what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4 channels. You could make this as many channels as you want. For today, we're doing 4. Now here's what I also want you to do. We are going to make a wavy line interweave this a little bit. And it comes up like this. I'm going to start here. I'm going to draw behind. I'm going to come down and I'm going to go over that area draw behind, and go over that area. So this line is going, it's kind of like a wave in between, but when you go up, you're going behind, and when you come down, you're going over. When you go up, you go behind, and when you go down, you're going over. Okay? What you can do when we get to our tiles is you can erase a little bit of the channels on either side of that line. Or you can wait until your tile's done and erase it after. Okay. What I find with this tangle, her step out has you doing these channels and leaving a gap, and then continuing and leaving a gap. What I find is that that gap is never in the place that I want for this other line. So I just do the full channels, and then I come back and I put this line in. All right. What's going to happen, we're not going to do this full right now, but what happens is this line, this single line, is flux. So that is a flux shape. It's like the teardrop shape. And you can put that dash line in there. So this line is your guide. You're going to do a flux shape to the right. And I picked up my pen, by the way, and this is just practice. I just grabbed a pen because that's what was on top. A flux shape to the right, a flux shape to the left. And when you do your next flux shape, I ride that line, and then I do my next flux shape. Redraw that line, and then go into the next flux shape. Now, when you come up to this channel, you're drawing behind. So here, air draw, come around, and then this side might go this way. Okay, so we're drawing behind. Flux is going behind our channels, and it's going to continue up here. So what I like to do is have a little bit of the top of a flux shape just peeking out before I do a full one, because we really want to sell that overlap, that drawing behind. And then maybe I'll do another one here. And now I'm going to follow that pencil line. Now this flux shape went behind. You're going to have some of them overlap. Because I'm on a curve, I'm going to do 2 flux shapes on the left, because I need more flux to get around that outer curve. I need less flux on the inner curve. Notice how I'm turning my tile. So this flux shape bends just a little bit more. Riding that line, and I'm going to do that flux shape here. So flux in this manner is organic. I use that pencil line as my guide and my base and my stem, but how the flux shape comes out of there is organic. So if I need to curve it a little bit more, I curve it a little bit more. Maybe I'll do another one right there. So see how those 3 are really kind of lined up? I like them a little bit more overlapped. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. Like right now, actually, I can show it. I take off here, I do my flux shape. I'm going to let this one go behind because they're going to lay differently. This one I'm going to go a little bit more curvy to make it different. I tend not to like them layered exactly like that. Oops, and I just drew. So this pencil line is over my channels. So I'm just going to keep going. take off, flux shape, take off to the right, flux shape, and if I end up with a little gap in there, that's fine. I'm just walking my way down. So now I'm getting into that curved section. So maybe I shorten up the inner curve ones and the outer curve become a little bigger. So this one I tucked way in behind. And then this one I'll make bigger. So allow flux to just happen. So now I've got myself into this bit of a gap here. So I'm going to do my outer flux shapes first. And I have to be careful because I'm coming up to the draw behind section, right? And then for this one, I'm just going to fake this one out, and I'm going to put a little flux shape hidden behind so that now I can come up here and do another one. Okay, and now I'm to the channel, but this is the section where I'm behind. I draw behind. And I don't continue flux again until up here. And now it's the same process. Okay. So I like to do my flux shape first because that's my focal to me. That's what comes forward. And I like to have that over and under done. Then you can come in and you can trace the channels. And you would do that for all of it. And that's why I was saying I don't get this gap in the channels in the right position. That's why I like to do the whole string and pencil and then tangle. Our tile, now that we know how to do this, is this. So I penciled in the string, the channels. I did the curve up and down. And then we're going to put 2 tangles in. We have 2 channels that are crescent moon and 2 channels that are hybrid. Also notice that the space in between the channel and where the flux turns, I color that in. And you can do, if you have a really big space, you can do orbs and color that in. Or if it's really small like here, you can color it in. And that just gives you more depth. So it's a really fun pattern. It's an easy pattern, but the flow of those curves is really what is key on this one. Okay, so I'm going to go to my tile. I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to put that first wave right down the center of my phi tile. This is pencil. And then I'm going to do 2 auras on both sides. So that's my pencil channel. And now I'm going to put in my flux vine. It's going to come up. And go like that. And once you get that done, you can come on back, and I'm going to go ahead and keep tangling. I'm going to start with my flux. I didn't mention this in the practice. You can add little baby flux in there too. If you have an odd area, add a little baby flux. And if you end up with anything like this that's really awkward, you can come around later and add more flux. So don't be afraid if your spacing looks weird, doesn't feel natural. You can go back. So pay attention to when you're drawing over or under. And whenever you have your flux done, you can go ahead and then trace your channels, drawing behind. once your pen is dry, you can erase pencil lines if you choose, or you can leave them. They can be handy for graphite. I'm erasing because I don't want it to be confusing for you on screen. In my own practice, I might have left them alone. Okay, so I'm going to keep going for time's sake. The next thing I'm looking at is if I need to add any extra flux. And this is personal choice. You know, do I want to add any little baby guys flowing out of any shapes? And you can do this later. I'm actually not too bad in this moment. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I know I'm a broken record. Pause the video, but I don't want you to get stressed about rushing. Please do not rush. I want you to enjoy your pen strokes. Okay, so in this first channel, the very first channel down here, I am going to put Crescent Moon. Let me write my... So this tile is Walu by Rhea Matheson. And now I'm going to do Crescent Moon, which is a Zentangle headquarters tangle. And I'm going to work it right in here. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put that little half rice shape along the edge, and I'm going to do 2 auras. You may only get 1. Then I move up a little bit, and I'm going to do another one on the opposite side, and I'm going to do 2 auras. And I'm going to continue that rhythm. Rice shape and 2 auras. Other side, rice shape, 2 auras. And notice they're a little bit offset. Whoops. So my rice shape will get narrower if my channel gets narrower. So I do that all the way along the channel. And then I come in and just fill in those gaps with auras. And you might say, well, which side do I aura? It's intuitive touch and feel. So here I could aura this shape, or I could aura this shape. I'm going to go here. And then maybe I'll aura this one. It really and truly does not matter which one you choose. So I chose that one. I'm going to do another one. So this one has a little bit more auras. Now I'm going to aura this one in the background. And if I have any little tiny gaps, I'll just color them in. So to pull off, to give you what that looks like, that's where you're going. Okay, we're going to do Crescent Moon in the first and the third channels. So the first channel and the third channel. It's a good time for a deep breath. If you're tangling in all these little spaces, check your pen grip. I can feel mine tightening up. So I'm done now with my crescent moon. And I'm going to go ahead and do hybrid. Hybrid is a Zentangle pattern as well. And for this one, we're going to do it in the other two channels. It goes like this. You're going to start with a zigzag. And when I do zigzags, I need to do them one pen stroke at a time. So as you come around and do the zigzag in a curve, your little triangles are never going to be the same. Like this one ended up a little skinnier than the others. It's just going to happen. Okay, don't worry about it. And you would do the zigzag in there all the way. And then what you do is come into each of those little triangles and you'll aura left, aura right, aura the left until you can't go anymore. Aura the left, aura the right, R of the left, and that's it. Okay, and you're going to keep doing that to every single triangle. Don't worry about what it's looking like. Just think about the triangles. Then I like to turn it upside down, and you do the same thing. R of the left, R of the right. Just keep alternating. And you get this really cool little pattern. Okay, so I like this in this type of space because it's incredibly forgiving. I had that little wonky triangle in here that looked really too skinny. When you get done, it's going to disappear. So you don't have to worry about being super precise and getting all of that zigzag immediately correct. It is going to all disappear. So we're going to do hybrid in this channel and this channel. Another thing I do when I go behind on these channels, so for example, here I'm doing my zigzag and I'm going behind flux and I'm continuing my zigzag. I'm not worried about it being a logical starting place up here. So if, in other words, if I continued this zigzag, where would that zigzag come out? I don't care. I just start a new zigzag that makes sense in that space, because nobody's going to sit there and go, is that exactly what would be seen up there in the zigzag? I used to stress out about making it follow exactly, but our brains fill in the background. How's your breathing doing? How's your pen grip doing? And purposely keeping quiet so that you can enjoy the tangling. Okay, so I have my tangling done. Go ahead and pause if you need to. This is a lot of tangling on this one, so I want you to be relaxed and enjoy the process. When you are ready, I'm going to take a thicker pen, which for me is just my PN because it's relatively new. And the gaps between our flux and our channels, I'm going to color in. If you have a big gap, you can add an orb to take up some space. But this step just connects the overlap of our flux and our channels. And then I think I'm going to darken up the edge, the outer edge of my channel. Feels a little bit wimpy. So there's our tangling. I'm going to grab my pencil. Whenever you're ready, you can join me. In all of the tangling, all of the channels, I'm going to do light shading on either side. So I cheat a little bit. I add graphite to the inside edge of here. And then between this channel and this channel, I just add a decent layer right over the line. This one too, right over the line. And then here it's going to be on the inside. So by going right over the line, when I shade, I'm actually shading two channels at the same time. I'm going this direction for this channel, and I'm coming this direction for this channel. So I'm just taking a little bit of a shortcut, but the key when you do this is see that there's still a little bit of bright right down the center of the channel. You don't want to make the whole channel dark. Some of these might be tight. If your channels are a little bit narrower, that's okay. However you can get the lights and the darks in here is what's going to give you a little bit of dimension. So I did that a little bit quick. I'm going to say this again in a different way. When I look at a channel like this and I want to shade the inside edges, I think of it in thirds. I think this third is going to be dark. The middle third is going to be white. And the right third is dark. So when I blend this out, that's what I'm thinking. A third, a third, a third. And then what you can do in those channels, if you have a white chalk pencil, you can come down the center of those channels just with a white line scribble. And you can get a little bit more dimension. But if you put graphite into that center third and try to put white chalk over it, you don't get white. You're going to get more shades of gray, and it's not going to pop as much. So when you do the white chalk pencil, it's better, you get better results if the white chalk can be directly on your paper and not mixing in with graphite. So you can see here, these two have white and these two do not. And now you've got a little bit more dimension in there. Okay, and the last thing, our flux shape is just a little bit too pristine. Again, with the graphite that's on my tortillon, I'm just going to go right down the stem and just shade that center stem. You can come in with graphite right down the center. Just to give it a little bit. And there you go. I'm going to add my chop. And a sign on the back. We had a lot of tangling on this one. I really love how it came out. I hope you enjoyed the relaxing, repetitive tangling on this. If you need to, or your hands are a little bit tight or tired, it's probably because you were gripping your pen really hard. So just loosen up your pen, loosen up your fingers. Sometimes I stretch them. Sometimes it's good to just take your finger and pull it back just a little bit. It extends your forearm, stretches your forearm just a bit. If it hurts, don't do it. It just feels really good for me sometimes to, you know, stretch things out when I've had a long stretch of tangling, especially tiny tangling. Okay, have a good deep breath. Moment of gratitude. All right. Congratulations for working on this tile with me. Thanks for tangling. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.